The year is 1945. The war in Europe is nearing its end. The date is April 30th and the Soviet army has the city of Berlin surrounded. The situation was hopeless for Adolf Hitler. With Russian soldiers only blocks away from his bunker, he went into his office with his lover, Eva Braun, closed the door, sat at his desk, swallowed a poison pill, drew his pistol, and shot himself in the head. This, according to history, is how the cruelest, most sadistic leader in modern history met his end. Or is it? In today's episode, we look into the conspiracy theory that claims Adolf Hitler never died in that bunker on April 30th, 1945. History tells us that after Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun committed suicide, the few remaining loyal aides carried their bodies out of the bunker, placed them in a shallow grave, poured gasoline over them, and set them ablaze. On May 1st, 1945, the Soviet army was searching the city looking to capture the Führer. It was then that a stunning announcement was broadcast over German news radio. The Nazis issued a statement that Adolf Hitler was dead. Unable to verify this report, Soviet soldiers continued their search for Adolf Hitler. The next day, on May 2nd, the Red Army finally seized Adolf Hitler's bunker. On May 4th, the charred bodies of Hitler and Eva Braun were found in a shallow grave. The bodies were exhumed and brought back to Soviet military headquarters in Magdeburg. On May 11th, Kathy Hauserman, who was the assistant to Hitler's personal dentist, was brought in to examine a partial jawbone which displayed some dental work. She determined that this was indeed the jawbone of Adolf Hitler. On June 3rd, the lower jawbone and a large skull fragment which displayed a bullet hole were sent back to Moscow. The bodies of Hitler and Braun were buried in a forest near Brandenburg. Stories and rumors of Adolf Hitler still being alive began to spring up immediately after the end of the war. Joseph Stalin himself said that Hitler was still alive and either living in Spain or Argentina. In July of 1945, British newspapers interviewed a Soviet officer who claimed that Adolf Hitler was still alive and was hiding out in the Alps. In the ensuing years after World War II, a number of theories have emerged attempting to explain what may have happened to Adolf Hitler. The following is the most popular of these conspiracy theories. In the waning days of the war, as the Soviet army surrounded the city, fighting their way ever closer to Hitler's bunker, Martin Bormann devised a plan to save the life of his beloved Führer. Bormann was Hitler's personal secretary and was a loyal, steadfast Nazi. He was extremely close with Hitler, and it was said that no one even saw Hitler before going through Bormann first. Bormann realizes that in order to prevent being hunted down, he must first make the world believe that Hitler was dead. Bormann sought the assistance of Gestapo chief Heinrich Müller to carry out his plan. They were the only two people at the bunker to know of this plan. Body doubles of Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun were brought in to replace the couple. The use of body doubles was a common practice used by world leaders at the time. It was reported that Hitler regularly used several of them. The remaining staff in the bunker would only catch glimpses of the body doubles from time to time and would not have been aware of the switch. Meanwhile, Hitler and Braun escaped to Spain, which was at the time ruled by Francisco Franco, a fellow fascist leader. From there, the couple was flown to the island of Fuerteventura, which is located in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Africa. They then boarded a U-boat which brought them across the Atlantic Ocean to Argentina. Back at the bunker, once Martin Bormann received word that Hitler safely escaped to Spain, he ordered Müller to shoot Hitler's double in the head and forced the Braun look-alike to swallow a cyanide pill. When arriving in Argentina, Hitler and Eva Braun would be welcomed by President Juan Perón and his wife Evita, who had been receiving subsidies from the Nazis for years. It is said that the couple, along with a group of other exiled Nazis, settled in the town of San Carlos de Bariloche, located in the Patagonia region of Argentina. The town resembles a Bavarian village and is home to thousands of German settlers. It is reported that Adolf Hitler died quietly of natural causes there in 1962. During his trial for war crimes in 1947, Luftwaffe pilot Captain Peter Baumgart stated that he flew Hitler and Eva Braun to safety on April 28, 1945. In 1954, Peter Citroën, a former SS officer, stated that a man living in the town of Tunja, located 85 miles north of Bogota, was Adolf Hitler, along with a group of former Nazis. In the 1990s, released CIA documents included a photo of Citroën next to the supposed ex-dictator. The documents indicated that the agency went down to Tunja to investigate. However, by the time they arrived, the man purported to be Hitler had already fled. In 2014, researchers from the History Channel uncovered recently declassified FBI documents related to the Adolf Hitler investigation. They found two separate documents suggesting that Hitler was living in an underground bunker in a region located 675 miles northwest of Buenos Aires, near a community called Charata. The History Channel team traveled to Charata and met with local historian Juan Iberto, who spent years researching the case. He told them that in 1970, a basement had been discovered under a farm owned by a German family on agricultural land a few miles east of Charata. In the basement were found weapons, Nazi banners, and documents. The team went out to investigate the basement. Expecting to see a root cellar or a small basement, what they found was far from that. When they descended the stairs into the basement, what they saw was a huge underground structure. Very well constructed with brick and concrete walls and thick overhead beams to provide support. Certainly not something you would expect to see at a remote farmhouse. In 2009, a team of forensic experts headed by University of Connecticut archaeologist and bone expert Nick Ballantoni was given permission by the Russian government to examine the skull fragment of Adolf Hitler. The team was funded and documented by the television series Mystery Quest. The team performed several DNA tests on the skull fragment, which revealed a shocking discovery. The test showed that the skull fragment was not from Adolf Hitler. It was in fact that of a 20-year-old woman and was not from Eva Braun. A storm of controversy has surrounded this case ever since the body of Adolf Hitler was discovered outside that bunker over 75 years ago. Most believe that it truly was Adolf Hitler who was killed in April of 1945. However, a growing amount of evidence may suggest otherwise. Tell us in the comments below what your opinion is.